And get them out, hold them up. That's your sideline pass. Is good now like it is each every week right here on the CoachShow with Coach Lenny Jankowski, Athletic Director, Head Football Coach at Vero Beach High School. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you stopping by the show. Coach Jay, we're in after a huge district game. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about your weekend. How was your weekend, sir?
Weekend was great. Had a good weekend. Hopefully you guys did too, and all of our audience had a good weekend. It was a fun weekend. Got to relax a little bit after Friday night and watched a little college football. Hung out with the family. Nothing major, but it was a good, relaxing weekend.
Stay right there. How about college football? How about the Michigan State game? Did you see the play?
Oh, I saw it.
Oh my gosh, I saw it too, and I felt bad. I had to pinch myself. Did that really just happen? Because I'm sitting there at the time, I'm thinking, all right, Michigan is really going to win this game.
Yeah.
Michigan State's going to let it slip. And then I'm thinking, they're lining up the punt. 10 seconds, coach. In a coach's mind frame, wouldn't you just down it or scramble around a little bit and make them beat you?
You know what? I in this case, I think I'm gonna stick with Coach Harbaugh. The punt play is something that's practiced every day on a regular basis, and so
right.
and I know there are a lot of thoughts in that situation, but you're really in a dead man zone. You're in midfield. It was 4th and 3. You can see now obviously in hindsight, run around. So I've heard throw the ball as high as you can. Let the time tick tick tick
right,
tick.
Right.
But you don't practice that.
No.
You practice snapping the ball with the punter. The punter punting like he does each and every day, probably hundreds of times a day. Yeah. You're talking about Division I football with great players and all that, and anytime I watch a game on Saturday or even Sundays, and you think about some of the hiccups that you have on Friday nights or during the week in high school football in preparation, and you see the way games end or the way games are decided, I'm never overly critical because you see it happen on Saturday. And that was, I don't know that I've ever seen a game end that way, because like you, I'm watching the game and I'm thinking, what a turnaround this program has made.
Amazing.
And then for it to end that way against their rival. And I think it could have been fine. It would have been fine, as we all say, as if the punter just didn't panic a little bit.
He didn't just act like a kicker.
Punter.
Right.
Just act like a kicker.
Right. And so I feel for him. I really do. I feel for all those involved. And Michigan State, they kept playing. The coaches were still coaching. You see the clips on the sideline, and they're still working. They're still playing, and there's 10 seconds left. It's never over. And it's just one of those things. It was unfortunate in a lot of regard, and fortunate for all those Michigan State fans.
Tough way to finish a game, Derek. Did you see that trophy? Couldn't they get a better trophy? It looked like Stretch Armstrong trophy.
It did.
You see that thing?
It did look like a toy I had back in the 70s. You know what I'm saying?
It did. I knew you were going to go with Harbaugh because you guys match on Friday nights. You got the same khakis, same aggressive coaching style. Yeah. I knew he was going to stick with him. I knew it.
He did.
So there you go.
With the college, you coach kids that are now playing at that level. What is that like for you on Saturday?
It's really neat. I usually either they'll reach out or I'll reach out. Once during the week, whatever day of the week it is. It usually varies, but we've got a wide range of players playing at all different levels of college football. Some that we get to watch on TV, and some that are playing at some of the lower levels. But they're getting that opportunity, and it's always great to hear from them. We had obviously Louisville was playing at Florida State this week, so Javonte Bagley was up there. Got to see him. He played quite a bit in that game, and some of our guys, the guys at NC State, were during a bye week, so we got to visit with their coach. Their coach was in the office on Friday, and so just keeping up with those guys. It's always it's neat to see how they're doing and what they're doing at the next level.
NC State would have Javius Wright and Sean Paul. Sean Paul's back on the field and doing big things. I mean, there's some NFL scouts talking about Javius Wright, Coach.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be fun to see how all that progresses. So I'm proud of those guys. Obviously, getting an opportunity to get a college education and then seeing what else happens after that.
Before we go to the break, when we come back, I want to break down the Treasure Coast game. So I want to kind of stick to it's a routine this week for a bye week. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of more laid back. So you're speaking to college coaches, will you see some on your campus? Is it kind of a loose week for you guys?
I don't know if it's loose for us. This time of the year, the colleges during their bye week will, get out and recruit a little bit, and so I mentioned NC State was on their bye week. We also had Virginia Tech on campus because they were playing Miami. So Friday, they flew into town and had their coach come up, and I got to spend some time, and they get to talk to our players and visit with them a little bit. So I know that this week we've got University of Florida that's coming today, and so it just depends on what their schedules. We're kind of at their beck and call, and whenever they get a chance to get out, we try to afford them the opportunity to visit with us or our players, and get our kids an opportunity to visit with them.
Recently, Tennessee was on the sideline checking out Patrick Bethel, and then I saw Corbin Moment was up in Tallahassee. So we got a lot of things going on with the players, and we'll have some coaches and some recruiters on and off the field. We come back, don't go anywhere. We're talking with Coach Jankowski. We're going to break down the Treasure Coast game and how they got the big win. You're watching the Coaches Show right here on the sideline, Buzz TV.
Join us for an adventure weekdays at 4:30 and 8:30 on Buzz TV Network. Stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics in downtown Vero Beach. Owner Patty Callahan prints it all, from color and black and white copies to blueprints, banners, signs, prints of paintings, and fine art. Patty makes restorations and creates outstanding graphic designs. Call Patty at 770-1521 or stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics at 2345 14th Avenue. Stop by for all of your printing needs at Patty's Printing and Graphics across from the old railroad station in downtown Vero Beach. Buzz TV Network is now the fastest growing new media outlet on the Space and Treasure Coast. Follow Buzz TV Network and tell a friend.
And welcome back. It's the Coaches Show with Lenny Jankowski, the head football coach, athletic director of Vero Beach High School. It is I, Jason. He's Derek to the right of me, and we are the sideline right here on Buzz TV. Thanks for joining us. And we're going to talk about the recently big win over district rival Treasure Coast, Coach, 41-0. Now going into the game, there was a line. It was either going to be a really close game. Treasure Coast can run the ball. I mean, they run the ball 90% of the time. They're going to grind out the clock. They beat Central. Vero's going to have their hands full. And then there's another side. I think there was two of us that said we're going to blow Treasure Coast out. It worked out that way. 41-0. Coach, talk a little bit about the game and how it got started, how it finished.
Well, you mentioned it. There was a lot of hype going into the game. Both teams, district rivals, and undefeated going into it. And Treasure Coast, they're very talented. They're having a great year, playing with a lot of confidence. And so we knew we'd have our hands full. But I think we mentioned it before the game on Friday that we had a great week of preparation. I really felt good about our week of practice. Our coaches did a great job in preparation. And our kids were, I think, not only prepared, but they seemed ready, and it was one of those. And as I tell our kids all the time, each and every game for us, it feels or appears that it's a big game. We get a lot of people at our games, and our kids have been, in my mind, battle tested each and every week. So we show up down there, and we receive the opening kickoff, and to avoid going blow for blow, we took the opening kickoff, and really they came out and defended us as we prepared.
Right.
They lined up as we thought they would, and we were really able to. We shredded them up pretty good. We went right down the field and got down to the inch line and punched it in, and ended up getting a penalty for motion. Debatable when you watch it on film, but neither here nor there. So that was on a fourth down play. I think we drove 70 yards and about 5 or 6 plays and got down there and tried to punch it in, and were able to punch it in. And got the signal, hold them up signal,
because it was good.
Yeah, right. And then the penalty put us back 5 yards. So we ended up kicking the field goal and settling for a field goal. We go out and hold them. We're playing great defense, but really we were losing the field position battle. And so I think our next 3 drives started at the -19, the -21, and then maybe the -14, which the minus meaning on our side.
Right.
Our next offensive possessions. Defense was playing great, but we were losing a little bit in field position. So What I was most impressed with was that, we didn't panic. We stayed very patient offensively. And on our fourth possession, we put together a 14-play drive. It ended up with a field goal. A couple things that we goofed up a little bit in the red zone, but we ended up coming away with a 35-yard field goal by Adam Urigan. And so we go up 6-0. We scored on 2 of our first 4 possessions, but only had six points. But at this point in the game, you were mentioning about Treasure Coast killing the clock. We were really controlling the game. Like I said, a 14-play drive, and we kick off. And on the first defensive play, Sean Snipes causes a fumble. We recover, finally get to field position, and then score 4 or 5 plays later, and we take a 13-0 lead into halftime. Come back in the second half, and we didn't end up having to punt in the second half, so we got it rolling. We caused a fumble. Chris Larson recovers the second half kickoff. Again, we start with field position, punch that in, go up 20-0, and we really got it on a roll there.
Eric, we talked about it last week that the line of scrimmage is going to be the factor. Who dominates the line of scrimmage both offensively and defensively? Vero Beach did that.
Right. And one question I want to ask you is, you're getting everybody's best game. Like, when you schedule this, everybody circles it. It's Vero Beach. Is that ever a factor? Does that, over the course of a season, knowing that you're getting everybody's basically playoff game?
Well, I think that, we can't have any letdowns,
right.
And I think we obviously impress our players with that. And whether it's sinking in or not, you just hope, you only hope that it does. And they always respond so well. That's the thing. We've got such a great group this year, and I think that when nobody cares who gets the credit, you got a good thing happening, and you mentioned our defense, and a lot of times people will ask me for players of the game and things like that, and it's really it's boring, it's very cliche-ish,
right.
But it's a team effort. It's team defense. It's not always the guy making the tackle that's causing the defense the problems. Everybody's got an assignment, they've got to execute that assignment, and the same goes for offensively. We've got guys, I don't know if it's I don't know if the mamas and the daddies are always as excited about it, but our players are excited about the other guys doing well. You see a guy scoring a touchdown that doesn't usually score a touchdown, or a guy making a play that doesn't and the guy that's playing his position is the first guy to give him, a congratulatory gesture, whatever it might be, a high five or a chest bump or a butt bump or whatever those guys like to do. But it's really a neat thing to see happen, and week in and week out we've had just different guys step up.
We're going to talk more about that, all 3 phases of the game, when we come back. After these messages, don't go anywhere. It's the Coaches Show right here on the sideline, Buzz TV.
Attention, this important message is for any American who is about to turn 65 years of age or older. Nation's Helpline has Medicare supplement insurance news that may benefit you, your family, or someone you know. Most Americans who are about to turn 65 years old know they need Medicare supplement insurance, even if they already have Medicare. The Nation's Helpline Medicare supplement team can guide you and help answer your Medicare questions. Call today.
Please call 800-632-2804.
The Furniture Man is a locally owned business that has served the needs of the community of Vero Beach and Indian River County for over 30 years. Here at the Furniture Man, we offer fine pieces to furnish each and every room of your home. Specializing in Floridian style, come browse our selection of bedroom, dining room, patio, and living room. Come explore over 10,000 square feet of showroom, where you can find mattresses, recliners, sofas, dining, and more. Visit us at 673 US 1 in Vero Beach, Monday through Saturday, for all of your furniture needs.
And welcome back. It's the Coaches Show right here on the sideline at Buzz TV. Thanks for joining us. He is Lenny Jankowski, head football coach, athletic director over at Vero Beach High School. Knucklehead to the right of me is Derek, and I'm Jason. Thanks for joining us like you can every week right here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, the Coaches Show. Coach, he is a knucklehead. I'm telling you, I promise you that. We were just talking about all 3 phases of the game, how great it was. I mean, look at the special teams. I want to talk about this because you've been talking about effort all year. That's kind of like your hashtag, if you will, for your team. And you see it so much on the kickoff returns. You have a lot of guys that are playing offense. And one of the guys that stick out in my mind is Larson. Chris Larson plays wide receiver. These are 10-yard, 12-yard, 15-yard sprints every down as these guys are doing. Or they're blocking for the running backs or whatever's going on in the offensive game. Then he comes out there and he sprints down on the kickoff return. The effort is crazy what this guy brings to the table. I love watching him play. And then you got Jurgen, first-time kicker, kicks 2 field goals for you, 25 and a 37-yarder. That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about, guys that, just talk about Chris Larson to start with. I mean, he's just, if you just look up football player, you could see a picture of him, in the dictionary. He's just one of those guys that he just loves playing. You see his effort. You see what he brings to the table in his blocking. We move him around. We do different things with him. We ask a lot. I mean, sometimes he's lined up as a fullback. He's lined up as a tight end. Sometimes he lines up in his slot receiver position. We go to staff meetings, and we've got defensive players or defensive coaches that are fighting to get him
trying to get him over
the ball. We use him in special teams and he takes pride in it.
Right.
It's not. We live sometimes. I mentioned. It doesn't matter who gets the credit on our team because our guys are playing very unselfish, and I think maybe, and Chris is just the epitome of that. In my role as athletic director, oftentimes I hear the other side of that where we live in a day. I don't want to get on that soapbox, but where everything is so individualized.
Right.
It's just a breath of fresh air to be part of a team where the guys really don't really care about who gets the glory. They just want to compete and play hard. And Chris had a great game offensively. Had close to 100 yards receiving, 7 catches, some big catches, and it, like I said, if he didn't get a ball thrown to him and we were able to come out on top, he would be perfectly happy with that because he's doing it for the good of the cause and playing his role. Wherever he's needed, and so it's just really neat. And when things happen to go their way, and they do get an opportunity to make plays, he caused the fumble there on the kickoff,
right?
And recovered it as well, and I think he recovered it anyway, and then making the plays, it's bound to happen because he plays so stinking hard.
Jurgen's a baseball family. We got him out there kicking field goals for us, Derek.
I think they were also a soccer family. So that kind of transition. They're just really good athletes all the way around. So the special teams have been playing at a high level all year. Is that something that's always overlooked, especially by the fans, unless it's something happens like that Michigan State game? Is that the only time people pay attention to special teams?
Yeah, I think you're right. We certainly put a huge emphasis on it because. Again, you're talking about a third of the game, and when we tally plays up, we use the program, the huddle program that
Love
you
it.
like to talk about. Yeah.
Love it.
And when you they call it ODK, and offense, defense, or kicking, and when you break it down, I mean. In the kicking game, you have as much as you play as many snaps in the kicking game as you do on offense and defense. So it's critical. Points are critical. Games are decided by whether you're making extra points or field goals, and you just think about our game. We come out and we make those 2 field goals. If you don't make those, the mental side of it, the mindset of the other team, the momentum and how all that swings. So. No, there's the obvious is it's critical when it comes to the point differential and field position and all that. But then some of the things that gets that's unwritten is the mental side of it.
Exactly.
And how things work. So we're able to create plays. That second half kickoff. Obviously I'm sure both coaching staffs are in the locker room and they're talking about the keys to the second half and. They're getting the opening kickoff. They're only down 13-0.
Right.
They're still in the game, and I'm sure a big part of his, Coach Jones's halftime speech was, "Look, let's take this opening kickoff, go down and score. We're in a one-score game." On the flip side, we're talking about getting a stop, maybe creating a turnover, and taking it. Whenever we get the ball offensively, going down and scoring. If we hold them, now we're up 3 scores. We take them way out of their game plan. And we end up getting the big turnover on the kickoff, and then how that big mo changes because we go up 3 scores and now they're way out of their comfort zone, way out of their game plan, and things worked out for us.
Big game, high intensity, a lot of banging was going on out there, a lot of hitting. A lot of it was being done by Vero, setting the tone at the line play. I think I may have saw Patrick Bethel's best game as a Fighting Indian Friday night.
Definitely played extremely well, and we're going to need that the rest of the season.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that and more when we come back. I didn't mean to cut you off there. When we come back from break, we're going to talk a little bit about Patrick Bethel and that defense and what happens on a bye week. You're watching The Sideline right here on Buzz TV.
Freddie Wilfrick and Gregory Simpson invite you to Spotlight, Indian River, weeknights at 6:30 and 10:30.
Now that health reform is law, you cannot be denied health insurance coverage, but you can pay too much.
As a single mom, I was convinced that we could not afford health insurance until I spoke to the people from ICANN, who told me that I qualified for a special enrollment and a subsidized rate. Now I get so much more for so much less.
Call now and get the ICANN mobile app free. So don't wait another minute. Call ICANN, get covered, save money.
Marsha.
Hi, I'm Penny Chandler.
I'm Freddie Wolford.
I am Barbara Hoffman.
And I'm Gregory Simpson.
I'm here with Police Chief David Curry.
You're in good company on VeroBuzzTV.com, Vero Beach's local TV station on the internet.
I just love it.
Tell a friend.
We love y'all!
All right, get them out, hold them up. It's the fourth quarter, our last turn of this week. I know we didn't have any videos for you this week right here on the Coaches Show and Sideline on the Buzz TV. That's my fault. I don't know. I had a technology downfall at the office and at my house. I think it was caused by me.
By you?
So
It's
I don't know.
not me.
I don't know what happened.
We have this on record. It's not my fault. Finally.
Some kind of bomb went off in my computer, Coach. I don't know what happened. I think I did it. I'm not real sure. So next week, we'll be back with some plays. Coach, before we went to break, I was talking about Patrick Bethel and the defensive line and the defense as a whole. I mean, I think I did see Patrick Bethel's best game as a Fighting Indian.
He surely played hard, and like we mentioned in one of the previous segments, that sometimes our best games, our best effort doesn't necessarily show up in the stat sheet.
Right.
You know, what we asked our defensive line to do on Friday night was to penetrate, to wreak havoc back there, and allow for the guys in the second level to make the plays and clean it up. You know, and so. But Patrick played, you know, and it was we had good discussions about that yesterday in our staff meeting as well, and many of our coaches thought the same thing. So kudos to you, Jason, for recognizing that. But yeah, I think that, you know, overall our defense definitely played well, and you talk about the effort and talk about all those guys, but you know, I thought it started with our coaches. You know, our coaches really put together a great game plan.
They did.
Our kids went out and executed very well. We were prepared for that, you know, that offense and their exotic formations that they run. And I told our players, you know, during the week, especially towards the tail end of the week, that, you know, there comes a time, and I've been on the flip side of it, where as coaches, you know, we think bare minimum we're going to get a team outflanked, or we're gonna have them line up wrong, or, you know, we're going to shift and they're going to panic, things like that. And when that doesn't happen, it's like the uh-oh moment. Uh-oh. And I told our players, I said, there's going to be a lot of uh-oh moments, or we hope that there would be, you know, when there is no panic and we're prepared for, you know, the different formations that they run. And like I said, it's only something that you can hope for, but our players definitely executed the plan, and we had a great night. I think it was, all in all, probably our best overall game in all 3 phases. I thought we played very well together, and again, it's not taking anything away from Treasure Coast, because I do really feel like those guys are doing a great job. Their staff has done a great job with their team this year. I think they're very talented. And I think I read some of the comments in TC Palm, and, you know, Coach Jones said he's got to put it behind him and
right.
You know, try to get to 6-1. And I don't think there's anything better stated there, because it doesn't matter if you win or lose 41-0. It's on to the next week, and they still have a good part of their season in front of them, as we do.
Although it was one big loss to Vero Beach, Treasure Coast has only lost one game on the year. 41 is the number. The defense, Vero Beach defense, only giving up 41 points thus far, pitching their 4th shutout. It's been a huge effort coming on that side of the ball, Derek.
Yeah, now how much of it is you get to the end of the game, you want that shutout?
Yeah, I think, and I think as defensive players, defensive coaches, that's something that they strive for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think overall as a team, it's the whatever you call it, the explanation point or the stamp, the
right.
final stamp on it. But it's something that is definitely when you talk about being goal oriented and those kinds of things, you got a certain number as far as yardage that you don't want to give up. You got a certain, rushing yardage, passing yardage, and then points. And ultimately, points is the ultimate goal. And so our defense establishes those goals, and our players try to attain them. And ultimately, they've done a great job.
Is it tough controlling your defensive coaches? You're in a 41-0 game, so you're getting some other guys in, but at the same time, they really want that shutout.
Yeah,
especially that game.
but the good side of that too is I think that in games like that where we rotate a lot of players, whether it's 41-0 or in a tight game. We've got some depth. We play, in playing to our strength. I feel like we rotate a lot of guys in there, and our guys fight very hard during the week to earn that playing time, and so it's good to see those guys in there and then play well.
A couple guys that didn't get mentioned: Tyree Curtis, one half of the Pouncey Twins. They call them the Pouncey Twins because the Pouncey Twins from Florida. And one half of Tyree Curtis had a fumble recovery, bunch of great hits. Jarvis Jones, I don't know how you block him and Bethel. That's the problem there. These teams are going to have the rest of the year. James Riley, the safety, came up, made some great hits during the game. I thought it was awesome. But we're getting ready to end the show, so I got to ask.
Yes.
Bye week. Everybody's thinking it's just Cabana. Lenny, you're going to be hanging out in a flower T-shirt, drinking a Mai Tai and a straw and laid back. Is that how the week is?
That's exactly it.
Yes, you only hope.
We'll practice. The plan is we're going to practice Monday through Thursday, and weather permitting, all things being equal, hopefully we stick to that plan and give the guys Friday off and get a little head start on Fort Pierce Central.
Derek, I just had one of those uh-oh moments because I didn't get the answer I wanted.
I know.
Well, hey, thanks for joining us. Make sure you come back next week. Huge game. It's the Super Bowl at Treasure Coast. Vero Beach will be taking on Fort Pierce Central at Longwood Stadium in Fort Pierce. So we'll see you back here next week on the Coaches Show, The Sideline, Buzz TV.
Attention! This important message is for any American who is about to turn 65 years of age or older. Nation's Helpline has Medicare supplement insurance news that may benefit you, your family, or someone you know. Most Americans who are about to turn 65 years old know they need Medicare supplement insurance, even if they already have Medicare. The Nation's Helpline Medicare Supplement Team can guide you and help answer your Medicare questions. We can also help you find the right Medicare supplement policy from the best insurance companies around. So if you or someone you know is about to turn 65 years or older, call Nation's Helpline today. Don't spend more than you have to on Medicare supplement insurance. Call Nation's Helpline today and find out how easy it is to protect the ones you love. Even if you already have Medicare, this is a program for you. The call and quote is free, and there are no obligations. Call today.
Please call 800-632-2804. That is 800-632-2804.
Get them out, hold them up. That's your sideline pass is good now, right here on Buzz TV, coming to you every Tuesday through Friday, where we'll have a Coach's Show with Coach Jankowski as we break down all that's happening with Vero Beach High School football.
And then we're also going to have the Sports Buzz Show, where we're going to talk about local and national trending topics.
And maybe some of that his diet and how not to eat like him. Be like me, coming straight out of Indian territory. It's the Sideline Show, and you can find us right here on Buzz TV.